Call the meeting to order. Welcome board members, staff, appellants, and citizens to the March 8th Board of Zoning Appeals meeting in Mishawaka. I'd like to first introduce the staff. To my left, we have Derek Spear, who is our city planner. Over here, we have David Bent, who's our legal counsel. To my right, we have Carrie Myers, administrative planner. Shad Annis on the left, and he's the associate planner. Krista Hill, senior planner. Carrie Myers, will you please call the roll?
Charles Kruger, Chris Torty,
Here.
Joel Dendu,
Here.
Michael Portlees,
Here.
Larry Stilson.
Here.
The rules of the procedures are up on the board to my left. We'll hear first a presentation by the appellant. For each item, we will ask those participating in the room to speak first, followed by those participating online. We're going to take some extra time and make sure if somebody's dialed in that they have the option to speak, so bear with me on that a little bit. Those who wish to speak in favor of the appeal will get a chance to talk. Then we'll turn it over to those who wish to speak against the appeal. And if for some reason you don't know if you're for or against and you just have some questions, against is really the good time to speak on that. The right of rebuttal by the appellate will accumulate all the questions, and those can be answered in one round. We'll have a board discussion, then a board vote. I would ask that all of the speaking is done at the podium. We have a microphone there, and it's the only way that is actually heard and recorded for the record. Thank you very much. We have previous minutes from January 11th and February 8th. Those were distributed, and I wanted to see if there was any corrections or additions to those minutes by the members.
No. No.
Hearing none, all those in favor of approving January 11th and February 8th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those meeting minutes pass. Anybody on the board that would like to declare a conflict of interest tonight?
Nope.
On any of the items?
No.
Nope. Hearing none. That actually rolls us right into the first public hearing, which is appeal number 22-02. An appeal submitted by Stephen and Linda Koch, am I pronouncing that right? Koch. Requesting a use variance for 3931 Lincoln Way East, that hair place, to allow microblading services at an existing salon. Please come up and state your name and address for the record and tell us a little bit about your appeal.
Steve Cook, representing my wife, That Hair Place, LLC. The address 3931 Lincoln Way East. We, earlier this year, or beginning last year, the second quarter, changed from a fully commissioned salon to independent contractors. And in doing so, Courtney and Alex, two young ladies, newly graduated, leased space upstairs to as licensed estheticians. Their business took off. In particular, they do eyelashes, and now they're adding the microblading to the esthetician portion of it. And my wife and I are just excited helping these young ladies get a business off the ground. So this is part of it, soliciting for the variance, and that's why we're here this evening.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Koch. Is there any questions from the board members?
No.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 22-02? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Appeal 22-02? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I will open it up for any questions or concerns to the board members.
I understand microblading is a form of tattooing. I assume this won't allow the full range of tattooing, but just the eyelashes?
Yeah, just the eyebrows, nothing else.
Eyebrows? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've got a
Thanks.
way to do the top party.
They actually do that.
Thanks. Any other discussions? Then I will call for a motion on 22-02.
I move that we approve Appeal 22-02 as presented.
Joel Dundu?
Second.
Larry Stilson. We have a first and a second. Carrie Myers, would you please call for the vote?
Chris Torty,
Yes?
Joel Dendu,
Yes.
Mike Portalease,
Yes.
Larry Stilson.
Yes.
And Appeal 22-02 passes unanimously. Thank you. That brings us to Appeal 22-03, an appeal submitted by Lincoln Way West LLC, owned by WheelchairHelp.org, Inc., requesting a developmental variance for 2629 Lincoln Way West to allow a 0-foot front yard setback and a 0 side yard setback. Hi,
Hello, I'm Joe Liddy with Wheelchair Help.
great. Address, please.
LLC
Ad-
is the
address?
subsidiary that owns it.
Okay, great. Address, please. Your address.
Elkhart, 515 East Street, Elkhart.
Great. Carrie, did you get all that? Thank you.
We are a 501c3 non-profitable charitable, so that's what we do.
Great. Tell us about your appeal.
We bought the building about 2 years ago with the intent of putting a new facade and complete steel, all new roof. We wanted to do it tastefully. We see the angled wall there. That's a loading dock. It's a ramp going down, and it's quite unsightly. We'd like to enclose that to get the whole thing going. The angled front is part of our trademark, more or less. The building was terrible when we bought it from the Schraders, and we've done an awful lot of work to it, inside where you don't see it, and the exterior too. We tried to work with the existing brick and glass, and Ted recommended we tone it down a little bit without all the fancy stuff, so he recommended a 40-inch tall dark band around the building and conservative use of the colors. So anyway, the reason we're here is that part of the building is within 25 feet of the right-of-way. So we're just kind of closing off what's there. We're not really adding anything new. Well, a little bit maybe. Yeah. It just ties the whole thing together. It makes sense. And I don't like that loading dock out there.
Questions? No questions? Thank you. Is there anybody else in the room or online that would like to speak in favor of Appeal 22-03? Is there anybody online or in the room that would like to speak against Appeal 22-03? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and I'll open it up for any board discussion or questions. Hearing
Larry Stilson.
Yes.
and Appeal 22-03 passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving down the agenda items here, that brings us to Appeal number 22-04, an appeal submitted by 5 City Plaza LLC seeking a use variance for 1238 East University Drive, Granger, to allow microblading services in an existing salon. Hi.
Hey,
Name and address?
Tyler Foley with Jefferson Sola LLC, doing business at Sola Salon, 1238 East University Drive, Granger, Indiana. So can I go?
Yep.
So we are also requesting a use variance on the microblading. So we have a licensed esthetician that does have a studio there that does microblading, and we're trying to get that in business. Our other location at University Park Mall, we did the same thing in 2019, and it's a fast-growing business. So we just like to add it to our Granger location.
Great. Glad to see the growth.
Yeah.
Questions?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Foley.
Thank you so much.
Is there anybody else in the room or online that wish to speak in favor of Appeal 22-04? Is there anybody online or in the room that would like to speak against Appeal 22-04? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and open it up for any discussions that we may have. Hearing none, I will take a motion on Appeal 22-04.
Mr. Torty, I move that we vote to approve Appeal 2204.
Mike Portalease,
Second.
Joel Demdu. Thank you, and Carrie, would you please call for a vote?
Chris Torty?
Yes.
Joel Dendu?
Yes.
Michael Porterlies?
Yes.
Larry Stilson?
Yes.
And Appeal 22-04 passes unanimously. That is the last item on the agenda. That brings us to any old business? None, thank you. Any new business? No new business. Privilege of the floor. Anybody have any discussion outside of the agenda items today? Hearing none, that adjourns the meeting. 10 minutes.